Welcome, football fans, ladies, gentlemen, and every last one of you jabronis. It's Mitch here, live for my NFL Week 12 picks, straight up and versus the spread. This is the video where I break down every NFL matchup from Thursday night to Monday night. I give you my pick. Who's gonna win? And who will cover the spread? We get in the weeds. We get in depth. And as always, we have some fun and entertain. So, if you're ready to be entertained, Gronk, spike the like button, and don't be a jabroni. Subscribe to the channel for weekly Wednesday night picks on the bottom line view. And there's no picks that are more truthful, honest, and real than the bottom line view. If you guys are living under a rock and you're unaware, I have a second channel. That second channel is called Money Mitch, and it's not called Money Mitch for no reason. It's because I'm money. So go subscribe. Link in the description. Big Al's also putting in the live chat. Okay? And if you're wondering, Mitch, I like your picks. I like what you do. I want to support you, bro. How do I support you? Well, the way to do that is on Patreon. You can get the $5 tier and you get all my bets each and every week of the NFL season, or you can get any tier and just support me if you want. It's up to you, man, but that's the way to do it. Let's have some fun. What's going on, everybody in the chat? We've got the one and only John in the chat lining up his winners for the week. We got Big Al in the chat, excited for another epic Eagles week. Bob in the chat, Wavy Wave with a Pat's easy dub. Larry in the chat, Sing in the chat. We've got, is it Gene or John? What's up, bro? How you doing? Larry, the man, the myth, the legend. Larry, I don't think anybody out-comments Larry. If anyone can out-comment Larry, I'll give you a gold star. If anyone can do that, Randy Weaver is in the chat as well. Thank you guys for joining. Marcus Hanna's in the chat. Shout out to you guys, man. Thank you for tuning in live. Let's get to it. Thursday night football, baby. But last week, just to recap our picks, because I know there's a couple of you. Mitch, what was your record? Does it really matter, bro? Last week, I went 10-4 straight up and 8-6 versus the spread. We were 3-2 on the picks on Money Mitch. Best bets on the spreads. Okay. Let's go. Game one. Buffalo Bills on the road, -6 at the Houston Texans. Of course, CJ Stroud is out another week, which is kind of crazy, man, because, like, did he not get concussed like 3 weeks ago? It feels like concussions nowadays, you sit out a week, you're back at it. No, CJ Stroud has been out for 2 games. 2. So Davis Mills is the quarterback. Jalen Petrie is also out for the Texans in the secondary. Otherwise, Texans are healthy. For the Bills, some big injuries. Dalton Kincaid remains out, their probably best receiver. He is a tight end. Mecole Hardman, who they just signed last week. Tyreek Hill was all excited for him to play for the Bills. He returned some kicks last week, and he is now out of his second game. Curtis Samuel is also out with an elbow and a neck. So some receiver depth that is injured for the Bills. Khalil Shakir also did not practice. He is beat up, but I do believe he will play. So I think this is going to be a grinder of a football game. When I break down the Bills defense and the Texans offense, I think that's the wild card side of the football, because The Bills' defense is terrible against the run. They're one of the worst teams against the run in football. Last week, they allowed over 200 rushing yards to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They've allowed boatloads of rushing yards to Miami, Baltimore, and others this season. And basically, the formula against the Bills' defense is, can you stay balanced? Can you run the football? Can you make them fear the run so that they overplay it? And then you can create passing plays down the field. With the Texans, they're not a very good running football team, but it feels like most teams can run the ball on the Bills. It does feel that way. Most teams can at least have adequate success running the ball against one of the worst run defenses. And Nico Collins is amazing. He's going to make his plays. The Texans do have all their receivers intact. Jaden Higgins, the rookie, has been climbing the ladder production-wise. Christian Kirk's there. Dalton Schultz is there. I think that Davis Mills has been playing with a high volume of pass attempts, and he's been playing pretty well overall. He's made a couple mistakes, but I honestly have not seen a huge drop-off from Stroud to Davis Mills. The offensive line of the Texans is definitely a unit that has grown and gotten a little bit better. The question will be, can the Texans have good early down success running the ball to set up Davis Mills without getting shellacked by the Bills' pass rush? Because if the Bills' pass rush is set up to succeed and they stop the run, then that's where the Bills will be able to get off the field. So any drive where the Bills are set up in 3rd and 8+, 3rd and 7+, it's going to be a punt coming up from the Texans. But what I do like about the Texans as an underdog is D'Amico Ryans and the way that this team understands its identity. They're going to punt the ball. They're going to play field position. They're going to kick field goals from 50, 60 yards. Fairbairn is back, and he can kick from 65. And the reason they do that is because they have the best defense in football. And a couple people were asking Mitch, why are the Texans the best defense? What makes them better than Denver? And I'm like, okay, they're first in yards allowed. They're first in points allowed. They're first in first downs allowed. They're second in net yards attempt allowed. They're fourth in run defense. What are they not great at? So this is the best defense in football, and they're at home, and they're in a primetime spot. And may I remind you that the Houston Texans beat the Bills last season. Now, that was with Joseph Mixon, and that was with CJ Stroud, and those guys make a difference. But the reason they beat the Bills, the MVP Josh Allen last year, where he had a terrible game, is because of the defense. It's because of the defense. So the game will come down to this, in my opinion. Can the Bills sustain a running game in this game? Can they run the ball? Because if the Bills cannot run the ball, it's going to be very difficult for Josh Allen to overcome this level of disadvantage across the defense. Because I don't think the Bills can create much separation against Derek Stingley, Kamari Lassiter, and the Texans secondary. I don't think that the Bills, as good as their offensive line is, can consistently block the Texans with Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter. And D'Amico Ryans is going to spark some creative blitzes as well. So I think this is going to be a close, competitive, down-to-the-wire football game. I think the Bills ultimately will win the game by a field goal, maybe by a 4-pointer, something like that. I think they'll squeeze it out. But it's going to be ugly because I think the Texans defense is going to do what Atlanta did to Buffalo, where it's like, we're going to see all the flaws pop up again, where the Bills, their receivers suck. Let's just be fair. Other than James Cook, nobody around Josh Allen is very good on offense. So I think the Texans are going to expose that. And I think it's going to be a tough game for Mr. Josh Allen after 6 touchdowns last week. But I just don't believe Davis Mills in the clutch is going to come through and win this game outright. Could it happen? Yeah, it could happen, but I'm not going to bet on it. I think this is like 24-17-ish, 24-20, 21-17, somewhere in that range, 23-17, somewhere in that range, 23-20, something like that. I'll take Buffalo +6. Texans plus 6. And I'll take the Bills to win. Okay? Something like that. All right, sound good? If you guys haven't already, spike the like button. And don't be a jabroni. Subscribe. All right. I will have a bet on Patreon when it comes to Thursday night. And I'll release that tonight. Okay? I'm releasing it tonight. It has to do with the spread. It has to do with the total. So if you're on Patreon, look out for that. It is coming. I have already bet that. Okay? It's already in the register. Sunday, we've got the Minnesota Vikings at the Green Bay Packers. Talk about two teams that I really hate watching this year. The Vikings are without their best pass rusher, Jonathan Grenard. They did not have him last week either. Will Fries, guard for their offensive line, is also probably out. He didn't participate in practice. For the Packers, they have a lot of injuries, but I'm not sure which ones are extremely concerning. Josh Jacobs is probably unlikely to play, their star running back and their best offensive weapon at this point in time. Their rookie receiver, Savion Williams, did not participate, and Quay Walker, a really solid linebacker, did not participate. Nate Hobbs, one of their corners, also did not participate, and Carl Brooks, their depth D tackle. So I think, Packers, I've been covering their games the last 2 weeks for Bleacher Report, so I've been taking an extra liking to the Green Bay Packers. I've been going a little bit of a layer deep on the Green Bay Packers. And the Green Bay Packers, they're really frustrating. Their offense is really frustrating to watch. Jordan Love is really frustrating, very inconsistent. And their defense last week did not play that well. The Giants were able to run the ball, sustain success, early down success. They were able to convert on third down. Jameis tried to throw about 3 or 4 interceptions. And J.J. McCarthy will try to throw about 3 or 4 interceptions. It's a matter of can the Packers pick the ball off when it lands in their hands? That might be the determining factor of whether they cover or they don't. I can't, in my good conscience, I can't realistically pick J.J. McCarthy to win a football game. I can't do that. I can't put myself through that. I can't sit here and advise you to pick J.J. McCarthy. He is not good. I can't let you do that. Green Bay defensively has been really good at home. They've seemed to struggle more on the road. A little bit. Cardinals, Giants, Cowboys, a couple times. But they've been much better at home, where they've shut down the Eagles, and they shut down the Lions, and they shut down Jaden Daniels' Commanders, and they shut down this team and that team. So they've been a lot better at home on defense. Vikings have a pretty good tackle duo, though, Darisaw and O'Neal. So that should minimize the pressure the Packers are able to get. The Vikings have quietly been a good run team as of late, but Kevin O'Connell, for some reason, doesn't like to run the ball. He should in this game. Justin Jefferson wants to get traded to New England. Come on, buddy. I've heard it through the grapevine. Justin Jefferson will be a Patriot in 2026. Okay, you heard it here first. He doesn't want to play with J.J. McCarthy. He wants to play with Drake May, just so you guys are aware. Okay? So what I'm saying here is I don't trust J.J. McCarthy. I'm not sure I trust Kevin O'Connell. But I also don't trust Matt LaFleur. Some may call him Matt LaFuck. I don't trust the Packers' offense to be consistent against Brian Flores. I can't trust anyone or anything in this game. I will take the better quarterback, the Packers, the better offense, sort of, in the Packers. Throw the ball to Christian Watson. It doesn't matter if it's in quadruple coverage, he'll catch it. Just throw him the ball. It's not that hard. Throw him the ball. He keeps catching it in double coverage in the end zone. Throw him the ball. You don't have Tucker Kraft. Stop throwing the ball to Romeo. Oh, Romeo. Oh, Romeo. There is no Juliet. Stop throwing it to Romeo. He can't catch. He sucks. Okay? So, I'm going with the Packers to win. They're at home. I can't trust JJ McCarthy. That being said, I'm taking the Vikings plus 6.5. Because the Packers, can they blow anybody out? Could they blow out the local high school? They couldn't blow out the Giants. Cam Scattaboo's at Monday Night Raw. They couldn't even blow out the Giants, bro. So, I'm not taking the Packers to cover anything. Not a single thing. So, that's my read on that game. Screw that game. Next, Pittsburgh Steelers at the Chicago Bears. Steelers. Shout out to Deshaun in the chat. Hold on. We got to say hi to the chat. Deshaun's in the chat. Bob's in the chat. Diana's in the chat. Marcus is in the chat. What's up, guys? Thank you for joining. Appreciate you. Steelers. Bears. Bears. Minus 2.5. At home. Versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Who's playing quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers? Is it Aaron Rodgers? Is it Mason Rudolph? We're getting closer to Christmas, so you know what that means. It's time for the Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, to come out and play. So we might get a little Mason Rudolph action in this one. These are two teams that are really hard to read, and I would advise against not betting this game. It's the 7-3 Bears, who are absolutely frauds, and the 6-4 Steelers, who might even be bigger frauds than the Bears. The Steelers only win when the other team turns the ball over like 18 times, and the Bears have no defense whatsoever and a quarterback who couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat. So how do you bet this game? I would say this. I'll take the Bears at home if Mason Rudolph plays. I like Ben Johnson. I think the Bears have a good run game. I think they have an offensive line led by all-pro Darnell Wright, who can block TJ Watt and Cam Hayward and that front of the Steelers. Ben Johnson's going to scheme up some big completions and chunk plays for Caleb Williams. Caleb can avoid sacks and get out of negative plays if the Steelers are coming after him. That's one of the things I like about Caleb. I don't like the painted nails, but I do like the sack avoidance. And then you've got the defense where the Steelers don't have great receivers. The Bears could be getting reinforcements on defense. Jalen Johnson could be coming back. Kyler Gordon could be coming back. Jaquan Brisker maybe is injured. I'm not sure. TJ Edwards injured. Is he still injured? I don't know. I feel like he will be. Tremaine Edmonds, is he going to play this game? I don't know. But if Kyler Gordon and Jalen Johnson come back, or at least one of them come back, that's a big bonus to their secondary. I like how Dennis Allen is scheming up. I like how Ben Johnson is coaching. I feel like the Bears have a better coaching staff in this game. Chicago has the home field. Chicago has the more talented offense. I think I have to lean towards the Bears here under a field goal. If we're getting like 3.5 with the Steelers, you can talk me into Pittsburgh, because this does feel like a field goal game. It does feel like a field goal game. And I don't know. It's the Jekyll and the Hyde, Big Al. What are we getting from the Steelers defense this week? Are they going to force 6 forced fumbles, or are they just going to allow every big play known to human history? So I'm going to go with the Bears. Another game that I just hate these teams. Let's move on. Next, the New England Patriots at the Cincinnati Bengals. New England favored by 7.5. Now, this was 8.5 like an hour ago or 2 hours ago. but there has been a report that Joseph Burrow III has been a full participant at practice. Now, in my estimation, and my not so expert opinion, although sort of, I do believe that Joe Burrow will not play this game because Joe Burrow has a short week against Singh's Ravens. And he's been hearing about what Singh has been saying about him, that he's overrated, that he's not that good, that Herbert's better, that he's not handsome. And Burrow does not appreciate all these unkind, mean things that Singh has been saying in my DM on Discord. And guys, if you're not in the Discord, join the Discord, jabroni. The Discord is a great place to go. We've got legends in the Discord. We've got the one and only Ariana Grande #1 fan, Kevin Durkant, in the Discord. We've got the one and only Turtle in the Discord. We've spelt with a D, by the way. We also have Wave God himself in the Discord. If you guys are not in the Discord, okay, Big Al's going to post a link to the Discord in the chat. You guys can join the Discord. It's a lot of fun, all right? But we do have Ariana Grande's #1 fan in there, Kevin Durkant, who says Pat's 34-17 or something. Now, do I really care if Joe Burrow plays this game? Not really, because what I'm handicapping here is that the Bengals have no defense. Absolutely zero defense. And Drake May is the quarterback in this game that's going to slice and dice this defense up and down the field. I don't even know if the Bengals are going to get a single stop. Drake May does not throw an inaccurate pass. This man is a human jugs machine. It's bam, right on the target. Every time. Up and down the field. Patriots, up and down the field. They might punt once, maybe twice. That's it. They're scoring 30 plus in this game. Ramondre could be back. Keyshawn Booty could be back. All the weapons are intact. No Trey Hendrickson for the Bengals means no defense and no pass rush for the Bengals. And no Jamar Chase for Cincinnati. No Jamar Chase. So no alien that Christian Gonzalez has to cover in this game. He can stick on T. Higgins, take T. Higgins away, and let that fake Russian go to work, Yossi Voss, and let him catch all the balls on the other side. Go ahead. Go ahead. It won't be enough. Patriots win. Patriots cover. I think they win by like 14 to 17 points. Joe Flacco's going to be out there on one leg. Joe Burrow's going to rest up for Singh and Singh's Ravens so that he can whoop his ass on a Thursday night. I've got the Patriots to win and to cover. Probably a best bet. Next, New York Giants at the Detroit Lions. Jameis Winston. Mr. Aura has returned. The man, the myth, the legend, the most entertaining quarterback in football. Jameis Winston goes to Detroit to take on Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions. I am really hoping that the Giants can make this one go down to the wire and they can compete. But to me, I just don't see it, unfortunately. The Lions are really good against really bad teams. The Lions destroy bad teams. Washington, Chicago. Yeah, notice how I said Chicago's a bad team. Yeah, exactly. Okay? A lot of bad teams. You look up and down the schedule. Cincinnati, destroyed. Go up and down the schedule, especially at Detroit. But for real, the reason I like Detroit is the Giants are putrid against the run. Absolutely putrid. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to go for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Dan Campbell is not going to take the foot off the gas in this game. Montgomery, Swift, Gibbs are going to go crazy in this game. And that's going to set up Jared Goff to sling the rock to Jamison Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown. It doesn't even matter they don't have Sam Laporta. The Giants defense is in for a world of hurt. And on the other side, you have the Giants offense with Jameis, and they're going to try and go for it on a bunch of fourth downs. But I just feel like with the Lions, the way they play defense, they're not going to let the Giants run the ball on them like the Packers did, because the Packers are a bunch of soft cheese heads. They're going to stop the run, and they're going to play man coverage. And with Isaiah Hodgins, I just don't know how many times the Giants can actually separate and get open. And I think the Lions will make enough stops in that regard. And probably Jameis is due for a pick. I mean, he should have thrown like 3 last time out. So he probably will throw 1 or 2. One might go back to the house. I got the Lions at home to win, to cover. There it is. Next, Seattle at Tennessee. Guys, if you haven't already, Gronk spiked the like button. It really does help the video. It helps the algorithm. It helps new people find this video. It helps new people find this channel. So please like the video when you get a chance. Also, if you're watching this after the fact, get in the comments below and let me know your predictions for these games. Seattle minus 13.5 on the road at Tennessee. Tennessee is not even an NFL team. Tennessee is one of the worst teams I've ever witnessed in my life. Tennessee is that level of bad. Guys, do you not realize how bad Tennessee is? Tennessee is absolute dog shit. This team would go head-to-head with the 0-16 Browns, and they might lose. That's how bad the Titans are. That's how bad they are. On the other hand, Seattle is coming off a game in which they should have beat the Rams despite turning it over 4 flippin' times. Sam Darnold pissed down his leg on live television, and they nearly won the game, missing a 55, 60-yard field goal. So they're going to be buttoned up. They're going to cross their T's. They're going to dot their I's. Mike McDonald's going to be up Sam Darnold's ass trying to get him going. They're going to play mistake-free. They're going to be able to throw the ball all they want down the field to JSN. Nobody's covering them. Titans can stop the run a bit, but Seattle's not even good at that anyways. It's more about the attempts to set up their play action that they love. And then defensively, or is Tennessee going to score a point? How is Tennessee going to score a point? Tennessee's not going to be able to run the ball. Big Leonard Williams is going to be in the backfield in an instant. Cam Ward, the guy might have swagger, but he's playing as bad, if not worse, than Will Levis, and nobody really wants to talk about it. He's going to turn it over. He's going to get sacked. Probably Seattle's going to have multiple strip sacks like they did against Arizona. Seattle's indestructible on the road, except for last week when they turned it over 4 times. So I just don't see how Tennessee moves the ball. I don't see how they block Seattle. I don't see how they stop JSN. This is a formula for Seattle to whoop that ass. So I have the Seahawks by multiple touchdowns to win and to cover. Next, the Colts at the Chiefs. Kansas City is at home, favored by 3.5 over the team that is objectively better than they are. Yes, that is right. The Chiefs are favored by more than a field goal against a team that is objectively better than them. It's just facts. Now, that being said, am I absolutely scared to pick the Colts? Yes. Why am I scared to pick the Colts? 1, Daniel Jones. 2, Daniel Jones. 3, Arrowhead. The Kansas City Chiefs are really good at Arrowhead. They're 4-1 this year at Arrowhead. And they're 1-4 on the road. On the road, they lost to Buffalo, Jacksonville, Brazil, Chargers, and another AFC playoff team that I'm forgetting. Denver, last week. How could I forget that? That's stupid. But I look at this game. The Colts are coming off their bye. Shane Steichen off the bye. Shane Steichen went up against Spags in a Super Bowl a couple years ago, Philadelphia Eagles. So, yes, it's been a couple years. It's different personnel. But Steichen knows the core of Steve Spagnuolo, and he knows a lot of these players because a lot of them are the same. Nick Bolton, Leo Chanel, Chris Jones, George Karlaftis, Trent McDuffie. A lot of them are the same, to be fair. And that's why the Chiefs' defense isn't as good, because they're just getting old. Let's just be honest, okay? They can't rush the quarterback. Second, Lou Anarumo happens to be the Colts defensive coordinator. Last time I checked, he's the only guy. He's the only guy other than Tom Brady to beat the Chiefs in an AFC championship. Lou Anarumo. He's the defensive coordinator. They got Sauce installed in the defense, full bye week. They got Mooney Ward back, who was playing stellar before he got injured with a conky. Kenny Moore is back. No DeForest Buckner, which does hurt. But luckily for the Colts, the Chiefs don't run the damn ball. So it doesn't matter because Mahomes just checks out of it and passes it anyways for 2 yards because he can't throw the ball deep because he's checked down Charlie and he has the worst deep ball in the league. He can't hit a single throw. He's got the fastest guy in the league and he can't hit a throw deep. Nobody will talk about that though. Don't worry about it. Travis Kelce, I'm intrigued to see how Big Lou tries to game plan for him. I think Sauce and Ward can take their chances against Rice. The Colts pass rush is not great. I think it's fine, but I know that Lou knows how to prepare for Mahomes and keep him in the pocket and spin the dial on him and keep him guessing and coverage rotations and all that stuff. The 8-man drop, everybody remember that? 8-man in coverage, 3-man rush. He did all that funky crap. So that might come back for the Colts. I like the idea of a really strong coaching staff with the Colts having an extra week to prepare. I like the idea of Jonathan Taylor on the road in the cold. I like the idea of the Colts offensive line against a really bad Chiefs pass rush. But I don't like the idea of Daniel Jones on the road outdoors against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. I don't like the way the Colts lose is if Daniel Jones poops himself. And that could happen. It nearly happened against the Falcons. If Spags just starts shredding them with blitzes like the Falcons were, then I think we could be in for a long night. So, I think the Chiefs, don't they have to win this game? If the Chiefs lose, are they not done? Guys, think about it. If the Chiefs lose, are they not finished? They'd be 5-6. If the Chiefs lose, they're done. I hate the Chiefs. I hope they lose. But can I actually pick them to lose this game? I can't do it. I can't do it. I want to do it. I can't do it. I've got to pick the Chiefs. But I'll pick the Colts plus 3.5 because I get the better team with the better offense, with a week to prepare, with the coaching staff they have to just cover a field goal. Give me that, man. Give me the hook. I think the Chiefs win 27-24. Give me the hook. I'll take the hook. Colts will try to run more this time. The Colts should try and run as they always should. And I will say this, the Chiefs probably won't be able to get pressure unless they blitz. Which leaves Michael Pittman one-on-one. Which leaves Josh Downs one-on-one. Which leaves Tyler Warren one-on-one. So Daniel Jones, if you don't piss yourself, you will have advantages. Because the Chiefs can't get to the quarterback. Chris Jones is washed. Quentin Nelson's going to block him with his pinky. Chris Jones is washed. Quentin Nelson's got him all day. But I don't know. The ref will pull some stunt. Taylor Swift will come down from the rafters and drop kick Daniel Jones in the end zone. Some stupid shit. Chiefs will win somehow because they're not going to let them miss the playoffs, bro. It's in the script. They're not going to let them miss. I can't do it. I'll pick the Colts to cover, bro. I'll pick the Colts, but I hope the Colts win. Send those boys packing, Colts. Come on. Get it done. Next, the Jets at the Ravens. Oh, my goodness. The Ravens are favored by 13.5. The Jets on the road. The Ravens have a lot of injuries. This is kind of slipping under the radar, but a lot of injuries on a Wednesday for the Ravens. I like the Jets with 13.5. I think that's too many points. The Patriots were favored by 13 against the Jets. I think the Jets just upgraded at quarterback, going from Justin Fields to Tyrod Taylor. I think Taylor on the road is more mature. He doesn't turn the ball over. He doesn't make a lot of throws down the field, but does Justin Fields do that? Fields can run, but he also does stupid shit. Tyrod doesn't really do that, so. But you look at the Ravens and all their injuries. Lamar held out of practice today. Do think he'll play, but he's not himself. Likely did not participate. But the big ones are Roquan Smith not practicing, Kyle Hamilton not practicing. Those are the two most important players on the Ravens defense. Kyle Hamilton and Roquan Smith. If those guys are not 100% or one of these guys misses, I think you're getting value with the Jets. When I look at it from a football perspective, I do think that the way the Jets want to play, run the football, take the odd shot down the field one-on-one. The Ravens don't have an overwhelming pass rush. I think the Jets can kind of handle them. The best part of their team is their offensive line. And I do think the Jets can run the ball a bit with Breece here. I do think that Tyrod can kind of dink and dunk his way, especially if the middle of the field is a little softer. And then on the other side, they've had 10 days to prepare for this offense. That's another thing where the Ravens just played a very physical game against Cleveland, in Cleveland. They come back home. They have to play a short week against Cincinnati. It's kind of a look-ahead spot. The Jets defensively like to play a lot of man coverage. And as long as they can slow down Derrick Henry and they don't let Derrick Henry go for like 150, 200 yards, which I guess is possible with Lamar limited in his mobility, I kind of feel like the Jets can hang on that side of the ball. They're not a dreadful defense. They compete hard. They've got good linebackers. I think the Jets can hang around in this game. I think this is going to be kind of an ugly game for the Ravens. And also think about this, guys. Like, the Ravens are the Ravens good? Like, think about this for a second. Who have the Ravens beaten? Think about this for a sec. I know they're the Ravens and they have Lamar and we're thinking about this team from 2 years ago and last year, but like, think about the teams they've played. They got embarrassed by Kansas City. They got embarrassed by Detroit. They lost to Buffalo. Every good team they've played, they've lost. Who have they beaten of circumstance? Of anything of reputation? Like, honestly, I don't think the Ravens are very good. Are the Ravens good? I don't know. You tell me. So I'll take the Jets with the points. Obviously, I'm taking the Ravens to win. Next, the Cleveland Browns at the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders laying 4, which is an absolute travesty and embarrassment to football. That there is a team bad enough to let the Raiders lay 4 in any place on earth. I mean, how in the blue hell can you let the did you guys watch the Las Vegas Raiders play against the Cowboys? I'm going to make a statement. The Tennessee Titans are one of the worst teams I've ever seen. Ever. The Raiders have less talent than the Tennessee Titans. The Raiders are the least talented team I've seen in the NFL. They have no talent at all. Cleveland is way more talented than them. But there's one problem. Shedeur Sanders sucks. He's really bad at football. And he holds the ball forever. Forever. He is going to get sacked by Max Crosby probably like 5 times. Okay? And on top of that, Myles Garrett, who I made a video about today for Bleacher Report, he's on pace for 25.5 sacks. He's probably going to get that in this game. The Cowboys D-line, their new and improved D-line, ripped the Raiders apart, and Geno Smith is probably going to be on a stretcher by the end of this game. Like when Mick Foley jumped off the Hell in a Cell. He's going to be on a stretcher, bro. It's going to be bad. The Cleveland, there might be 10 points scored in this game. This game might end 6-3. So just for the fact that I don't know if this game will go over 20 points, I am going to take +4 with the Browns. Because this game might be 10-6. It might be 10-7. It might be 9-6, 12-9, 12-10, 13-10, 14-11. It might be some garbage score. So I'll take the +4, but I'll take the Raiders because they have Geno Smith, who is a professional NFL quarterback. They have Brock Bowers, and they have Max Crosby. Well, Cleveland has an insanely good defense, but they are not as good on the road, and they have not an NFL quarterback. They have a third-string NFL quarterback, and they don't have an offense. Their receiving core sucks. Sucks. So give me the home team Raiders to win. Give me the Cleveland Browns to cover +4. Next, Jacksonville at Arizona. Jacksonville favored by 3. I want to take Arizona in this game. I just can't. There's too many injuries. Like, I can't do it. Guys, let's go over Arizona's injury report right now. Calvin Beachum did not practice. Baron Browning did not practice. DeMarcado out. Marvin Harrison out. Will Hernandez did not practice. Will Johnson did not practice. Taylor Demerson did not practice. Jonah Williams did not practice. Too many injuries. It's like 5 offensive. No James Conner. No Benson. Kyler's playing Call of Duty. Multiple offensive line injuries. Multiple cornerback injuries. Multiple, I don't know. Is Mac Wilson on IR at this point? I don't even know. I'm going to look that up. Is he even on the team? He's on injured reserve. So I wanted to take Arizona. If Arizona was healthy, I'd take Arizona. I think Jacoby Brissett is probably better than Trevor Lawrence. I'm not going to lie. But I will take Duval to take it. I was impressed last week by the defense and the pass rush. It's definitely better than the Niners pass rush, so they should be able to make some plays there. But I don't like Jacksonville's secondary one bit. But Jacksonville has a good run defense. They have a good run offense. They have some weapons. Jacoby Myers, maybe Brenton Strange comes back. Brian Thomas comes back. They have Parker Washington. Jags should win this game, and Jags should cover this game. So I will lean towards Jacksonville. The game will be in the 20s somewhere. That's kind of how all Arizona games are. Give me Jacksonville. I also don't like the way the Cards are looking from a spirit perspective. Like, Arizona has come out and laid a fat egg a couple times recently. So I'll take Jacksonville. Healthier team, better team, more consistent team. Next, the Philadelphia Eagles at the Dallas Cowboys. You guys ready? Are you sure you're ready? Let me know, chat. Are you guys ready? I need a ready in the chat. I need a thumbs up. I need a check mark. I need Mitch, I'm ready. Say it in the chat. Are you ready? Let me know in the chat. Are you ready? Gronk spiked the like button. Dallas Cowboys at home. Philadelphia Eagles laying 3.5 at Jerry World. Bob is ready. Campbell's ready. Marcus is ready. Ready, Freddie. Thomas is ready. The Dallas Cowboys are going to win this game. The Dallas Cowboys are going to win this game, Bob. I'm not a jabroni. You're the jabroni, Bob. I see the doubt in your eyes, Bob. The Dallas Cowboys are going to win this game, jabroni. Let's break it down. Okay? First of all, the Philadelphia Eagles offense is an absolute pile of donkey shit. Jalen Hurts sucks. The pass game of the the Eagles is completely incompetent. A.J. Brown wants to get traded. Devontae Smith, when asked about why A.J. Brown wants to get traded, says, I want to get traded more than him. I don't know why he's saying that he wants to get traded more than me. I actually want to get traded more than he does. So neither of these receivers think Jalen Hurts is good at football. I don't either. The offensive line for the Eagles can't open up a rush lane to save their lives. They're beat up. Lane Johnson's hurt. So the Eagles can't run the ball, and their receivers are pissed off, and Jalen Hurts can't read a zone defense. It doesn't even matter that the Cowboys have the worst cornerback group in football. It honestly doesn't even matter. Deron Bland can make some plays, but why I love the Cowboys here, their defense is going to be very much improved. I told you against the Raiders, bet of the year, bet of the century. I told you, go all in. Cowboys. Quinnen Williams is really, really good. What happened? Quinnen Williams is really, really good. Odigizua, Jadeveon Clowney took a sip from the fountain of youth. Ezaraku is a dude. Dante Fowler. This defensive front of the Cowboys is nice. And the linebackers, Logan Wilson improves them. Overshone is going to be even more snaps this week. So the front seven of the Cowboys can stop the Eagles' run game, can get pressure on Hurts, and can sack Jalen Hurts. That is going to be a problem. And we saw week one, if CeeDee Lamb had hands, they would have won that game in week one. Jalen Carter was spitting on Dak like Jamar Chase was Jalen Ramsey. Now Jalen Carter's back, and Jalen Carter's the best D tackle in football. We all know this, Big Al. We get it. And they've got Nolan Smith, and they've got Jalen Phillips, and they've got the second best defense in the league, in my opinion. Maybe even the best. But here's the thing. There are only so many teams that can line up one of two of the top 15 receivers in football across from Adoree Jackson and just throw the ball at Adoree Jackson on every single play of the game. And that's what the Dallas Cowboys should do. If the Dallas Cowboys have a brain, they should just line up George Pickens opposite Adoree Jackson and throw the ball at him every single time. It doesn't even matter. And then when that doesn't happen, run the ball a little bit, keep them off balance. That's all you got to do. So I think Dak uniquely with this Dallas Cowboys receiving core is set up to go after the Eagles' weaknesses of their perimeter defense, their perimeter pass defense. CeeDee Lamb, for whatever reason, Philly cannot cover him. As good as Quinyon is, he might be the third or fourth best corner in the league. He's on a very small list, but I don't know. They can't cover this guy. CD, DVD, Blu-ray, ROM, as Caesar calls them. And they got Ferguson. They got Javonte. It's in Dallas. Dallas is fired up. They need this one for the playoffs. Philly is due for a loss. Philly should have lost a couple times. I got Dallas, man. I got Dallas, bro. Next. Atlanta, and this is really weird. I don't know why Atlanta and New Orleans is after Dallas on the card. I don't know who's smoking crack, but the New Orleans Saints and the Falcons, forgettable football game. But I'm going to tell you guys this right now. Lock it in. The Saints are winning this football game. Saints -1.5. Best bet. Saints at home. Tyler Shuck is underrated. First of all, Jamari will tell you, Tyler Shuck is underrated. Who told you he would be good? Me. I did. Okay? Tyler Shuck is underrated. Second, the Saints actually are trying. Third, the Falcons are not. Fourth, Kirk Cousins is washed. Fifth, Drake London is not playing. Sixth, the Saints can stop the run. So, Bijan, he might not do, a lot. Where am I? Six? What number? Six? Sixth. Chris Olave is playing. Seventh. The Falcons are beat up on the O-line. Eighth. The Falcons can't stop the run, so that should help the rookie quarterback. I lost my track of the numbers, but they're at the Superdome. They're at home. They're off a bye. It's a divisional game. The Falcons have quit on their season. They have an absolute jabroni at head coach. Give me Kellen Moore. Give me Tyler Shuck. They got the better coach, the better quarterback, the better run defense. And the Falcons, they just quit. They don't care anymore, bro. They don't care anymore. Give me the Saints. Sunday night. Dun 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 dun. Dallas and the Eagles should be Sunday night. But we've got the Rams and the Bucks. That's cool too. Chris Godwin limited. I don't think he'll play. I don't know though. I can't keep up with this Bucks team, bro. Running back, Bucky Irving, limited. I think he'll play, but I don't know. Ben Bredesen, guard. I don't think he's going to play. Jamel Dean did not participate. I can count him out. And that's big because he's really good this year. Hassan Reddick, he's out again. Their kicker, I don't know. Chase McLaughlin's on coke. The Rams also, though, scary. They put Rob Havenstein, their right tackle, on IR, and they put their best defensive back, Quentin Lake, on IR. So that's pretty concerning, especially against Emeka Ibuka at that slot receiver position. So I wonder how the Rams are going to do that. Are they going to move Durant, or are they going to move McCreary? I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I don't know. I do think there'll be points in this game. I do know there'll be points. I feel like the Rams can kind of do what they want against Todd Bowles. The Bucs give up way too many explosive plays. They will stop the Rams from running the ball. But this is the typical game script where McVay lets Stafford throw 45 times, and that will lead to points. McVay just has a knack for playing against Todd Bowles like I've never really seen for a head coach against another defensive coach. It's actually out of this world. Like every single time he blitzes, it's like a perfect screen for a 50-yard gain. And Puka's probably going to have 200 yards in this game on screens by itself. Also, Devontae Adams will score a touchdown because he does every single game. Stafford will probably have an MVP performance. The Bucs are going to give up a lot of yards in this game through the air. I know that for a fact, and I know the Rams are going to score because of Stafford. Stafford's excellent against the blitz. It's a really bad matchup for the Bucs defense, especially with the injuries they have. They don't have a pass rush right now, and they have to blitz to get pressure, and that is just like crippling against Matthew Stafford. And without Jamel Dean, I mean, that even makes it worse for them covering these guys on the outside. On the other side, though, I think the Rams defense is overrated, and I've kind of said that pretty consistently. I do think that there will be moments the Rams overwhelm the Bucs offensive line, which is just not all that good. Their tackles are good, but the interior is pretty bad. The run game for the Bucs looked really good last week, but that was against Buffalo. The Rams are a lot better against the run. But I do think with the Rams playing a lot of zone coverage and a lot of soft zone, and now without their best defensive back, who is a really good player, really good tackler, really sound player, that might loosen some things up a little bit. I do think that Baker can kind of dink and dunk his way down the field, kind of like he did against the Bills. And maybe Bucky's back, which will help the screen game, things like that. And maybe the run game can get going a bit. But I think the Bucs can hang. I don't know if they can win. So if this game's at 7.5, I would take Tampa. Since it's at 6.5, I'll take the Rams. I think this is like a 30-23 type game, 31-24 type game. The Rams don't win by margin too often against respectable teams. And now that they don't have their right tackle and one of their best defensive players, I do think that hurts. But the Bucs are also really beat up still. That receiving core just lacks chemistry with Baker. The offensive line's concerning. There will be moments where it just collapses. So I'll take the Rams both ways. Rams to win, Rams to cover. I'm not convinced by the cover. I could see the Tampa Bay Bucs hanging in the game. But I think I like the over. I do think there will be points in this game. I do think Baker will find ways to make plays, and I do think Stafford will have a day. So that's the way I see that Sunday Night Football game. And then on Monday night, we have a huge game in the NFC wildcard race. And San Francisco is low-key still in it for their division, as well as the Panthers. If the Bucs do lose and go 6-5, if the Panthers are 6-5 right now, they would have the same record. And I don't think they've played yet, if I'm not mistaken. So the Panthers are right in this thing, weirdly enough, in the NFC South. This is going to be a good game for, like, what wins out here? Like, Bryce Young, can he have another good game back-to-back? And can he do it against a defense that's not really that good, but they're really well coached? And the Niners offense, like, the Panthers are good against the run, but there are a lot of holes to take advantage of through the air that Brock Purdy can really take advantage of. I think you look at Carolina's linebackers, I think they're one of the weakest groups in football. Well, guess what? You play George Kittle, and you play the former Panther, who's probably going to want to score a lot of touchdowns in this game, Christian McCaffrey, Ricky Pearsall, and Juwan Jennings. So if J.C. Horn is on Juwan Jennings, the bigger, tougher receiver, Ricky Pearsall is probably going to go crazy against Michael Jackson. And the offensive line, I mean, the Panthers are like last in pass rush. They have Derek Brown, who you've got to double and you've got to take care of. And he might make a couple plays against their interior offensive line and against the run. But the Niners' offensive line's played really well against better units. And the Panthers can't really rush the quarterback. So I expect a lot from Brock Purdy here. I think Brock Purdy is going to sling it. And I think they're going to score in the 30s. I would say like 33, 34 points. So the question is, can the Panthers score 24, 27, 28? It's in San Fran. It's on prime time. You got to slow down McMillan. I would think with Lenore, maybe a little Green. Can Bryce Huff get a couple stops, a couple pressures? And I think the key of the game for San Francisco is stopping the run. If San Francisco can stop Rico Dowdle, I think they'll win the game, period. If Rico Dowdle has like 4 yards a carry and he doesn't have like 120 yards, I think the Niners win. I think it's really that simple. But if the Panthers can run the ball and kind of possess the ball and keep the Niners off the sidelines and go on long drives and execute in the red zone, I think the Panthers have a chance in an upset. But I think it's slim. I think you're counting on a below average passing game to continue what they did against Atlanta. I count on the Niners from a coaching perspective to be able to defensively stop the run well enough and get a couple stops on third down and a couple stops in the red zone. And I think Saleh can do that. And the Niners are pretty good against the run anyways. It's really their pass rush which sucks. And then I just think the Niners are going to score 30 points. Like, it's going to be hard for the Panthers to keep up. So I'm going to go with the 49ers -7. I'd prefer 6.5, but I'll go with the 49ers -7. And I will take them, obviously, to win the game. I think they know how to win these games. They will get it done. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video and breakdown of Week 12. If you did, Gronk spiked the like button. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Bob, Big Al, Thomas. Is it Gene or John, bro? Gene? John? Kevin? Durkant? Marcus? Campbell? Caesar? Shout out to you guys, man. Julius? Shout out to you guys. Appreciate everybody. Check out Patreon. Check out Money Mitch. And we'll see you later. Peace.